I went today to a public conference about how policymakers and the government influence the research of scientists in public matters, and at the end of the conference they couldn't reach any further agreement that the previous one they have before the conference. And of course the topic was more or less to inform, I suppose, the public about this matter, which is really important because a lot of the investigations that we see out there published for well-known scientists, they obey the interests of the politicians, whatever they think the research should be directed and the points that they are trying to make, because at the end of the day scientists like you and I, they have families and they have to live somewhere, they have to pay for goods and services, and they are just working. Now it is interesting because despite all the things that they were trying to say in the debate, seems like the science part of it, they are always living up in their heads, trying to intellectualize figures and numbers and trying to standardize them in order to understand things in a more academic way. And policymakers, they try to see how their decisions are going to affect the public in a more political context, in a more political way of acceptance for the limited period that they are going to be there, or for the benefit of the party in the activities that they are going to try to engage the public in the future. Now, we as a normal members of the public, we are in between the discussion that they have between the lack of communication, because politicians will wishes that scientists will be better communicators, and scientists wish that politicians would understand a bit more science, more mathematics, more physics, more things in the way that they can understand each other. Meanwhile, the weight of society is resting in our shoulders, normal taxpayers and normal workers. Now this is quite interesting because at the end of the day what we have here is a situation where the most successful business entrepreneurs, they are nor politicians and they are not scientists, even though they have I mean, despite this fact, they have more power than scientists and politicians, because say for instance a macro multinational company which will employ over 100,000 citizens in any region or any city, in any country, they will definitely have a say for the politicians, because they are paying a lot of taxes, A, in that government, and B, they are creating a lot of jobs for their people. So therefore they will influence the politicians, and sometimes if the companies are very strong and have a lot of resources and engage in different levels of society, they are going to have not just a normal influence in the government, but they are going to have a serious impact in the decisions of the government, such as the bankers. As we all know, the government wouldn't rescue a convenience shop from a big crisis, whereas we're talking about the bankers and the interest of millions of people. So the government will invest and give them money, sometimes throw our money to their feet in order to stop a major crisis for the fear or of a society collapse. So at the end of the day, nor the government or nor the scientists who have to be paid for the researches and have to be told what researches to make have any really power or decisions to make without anything that will blur their vision of helping the normal single member of the public like you and I. So the way of going against this problematic, it is to free the knowledge that we have, make free all what we know as a society, and give the power back to the people. How is it possible to be done? Well, macro corporations, if you start working for one of these multinationals, you are going to access to all the knowledge that they have in the relevant area that you work in. For instance, if you are a scientist, they are going to give you all the previous research so that you can carry on your investigations for the products or the whatever they are trying to sell. They are going to facilitate and they are going to give you all the resources that they already have, so that your job is going to be easier and it's going to be more efficient and it's going to be better directed to the purposes that they have. They are going to give you tools to measure this, and they are going to expect results. If you are working in any other area, administration, accountability, shipping, they are going to give you the best practices and all the tools available from the company in order to maximize and increase your productivity. So if we want to do the same thing in society, we have to share what is rightfully the part of the society, which is the knowledge. We cannot carry on this ambition of hiding the knowledge from people. We need to share it, and the way to share it, it's not just opening the universities for everyone to study over there, because of course there are some subjects that you have to engage in a bit more cooperation, but a lot of the degrees and a lot of a big part of the degrees can be recorded and free to people. Imagine how it will be if you can study from home 60, 70, in some cases even 90% of the degree, and just go to college for that 10% that you need to do. You can carry on working, you can carry on doing your normal activities, study on your own time, just go to university and pay for the things that you need. Now, if you're an academic, you might be thinking, well, I'm going to be jobless then, and the normal people will have more advantage than I do, and this is wrong, because in the company that I used to work the last year, they made $3 billion just in the division I was working in, and overall they made over $100 billion worldwide in just one financial year in the middle of the recession. So there is a lot of money out there for products and services. We are paying a lot of money. Incredibly enough, that money that I'm talking about, it is the profit that this company made, and not the sales that they achieved. So covering all the expenses, all the scientists, and they have to pay for the researches, and all the cost of production and raw materials and export and import and taxes and so on, they still managed to make $3 billion in the division where we are. For more or less in English pounds will be about 2.7, 2.5 billion pounds. But that is a lot of money. Now, we are all paying for this, but we need to understand that as these companies are making money, if we get together in a free and open university, What we could do is create these networks of knowledge so that we can all work together to create even better, more efficient and more eco-friendly products that are going to benefit the normal citizens, the normal people, and as well as create the resources for independent research from the scientist point of view, not just pots of money that are going to serve to the interests of the politicians and how they want us to perceive their jobs in the future for the benefits of their own parties. Now, big corporations, they do understand something that seems like we don't want to see, which is the cooperation, which is that we cannot carry on thinking in a globalized world in a very close environment as we do in our countries, because policymakers and scientists, they are trying to understand things and trying to regulate the activities within the frame of a country. And companies, multinational companies, are going beyond the borders, and they are, if they don't like the policies then that have been implemented, say in the UK, then they will go to Germany, for instance, they will go to Austria, they will go to Switzerland, they will go to a third world country, they will go to anywhere where the laws and regulations can be bypassed in an easier way. And they are going to still recruiting the best people they could from all over the world, bringing all their talents and minds together towards the goal that they are trying to achieve. So when we are fighting for the rights or the regulations in just the borders of this country, there are these companies influencing our lives from elsewhere. Now, it's understandable that we don't want to see it, or we cannot say it, or we haven't been thinking about that, but at the end of the day everything gets reduced to money, and politics are paid, and I'm not afraid to say that a lot of them are there only because of the money and because of the power that they think that they can get, and unfortunately the scientists are also not free to do everything that they want. If they want to carry on with a specific fund, with a specific researches and developments, they have to try to engage where the with these researchers where the pots of money are for develop this scientific knowledge and expectations that they might have from towards their careers. Now, so the way to do this free and open university is by all participating and engaging in this project. Anyone, everyone, regardless of the knowledge, regardless of the place in society, regardless of the academic experience that they might have, we all have things that we have achieved in our lives, and different ways of seeing these things and different ways of understanding, and a lot of this knowledge is valuable, and we could validate it and we could share it in a website like Wikipedia has been done by the power of volunteers. What tells you that if we upload what we know in a video in a specific website, this knowledge cannot go beyond our limit and reach elsewhere for the benefit of everybody else. Now, we are engaged in this project of the free and open university. Please feel free to drop us an email if you wish to know more, or you would like to volunteer for the online free university. Send us your queries at onlinefreeuniversity@gmail.com, and we're gonna let you know a little bit more about this incredible project that we can all be part of. Because in different places, just to talk about the European Union, we have over 26 million unemployed people at this very moment, and to be honest, a lot of the scientific research that it is done, it is not explaining that phenomenon, and it is not bringing back people to work, and companies are closing down, and those unemployed people, the governments have realized that the only way to make them go back to work is by giving them a bit more knowledge and training them a little bit more in different specialities. Unfortunately, the offers of the governments are very poor at the moment. They are not engaging as much as people wish, but different governments in the European Union are giving different courses and different capacitations to their people, whereas if we have one validated knowledge for all the countries of the European Union, we could be more efficient, more cost efficient. We could be more engaged to people who need this knowledge. We could be offering something that's more relevant for people, instead of just normal training as a plumber or a web designer. Or I'm not disregarding. I mean, I'm not against this type of knowledge, but this kind of courses are not that easy, either physically or technically appealing to the majority of people. We have to think in 26 million unemployed people, which are they already stopped paying taxes, and governments are running out of time and resources to give these people the knowledge they need to receive in order to facilitate the tools that they need to go back to their normal lives. Now, within these 26 million unemployed people, and even there is a lot of expertise and things that they could be doing and learning, but we need to share this knowledge if we want to answer the bigger problematics in the world. So please do get involved. Please get in contact with us. It's onlinefreeuniversity@gmail.com for the benefit of everyone. We can make this big change to happen, but we cannot just wait for the change to come from somewhere else. We need to generate this change ourselves, and every initiative, I think, can be considered in this project. We can all have our say, and the idea and the project, it is growing all over the world, but we need to capitalize, as the big companies do, all the knowledge in only one place, and we don't have any more time to waste, because ambition and jealousy, intellectual or knowledge jealousy, it is not a possibility to face the challenges that we are going through at the moment, the global warming and the unemployment and the risk of famine, and the shifts of the poles, the lack of fuel, the hyperinflation that we are in some countries living in, the devaluation of the resources, the inflation of the knowledge, where it's not enough now to have just a college degree, but you need a master's and PhDs to access to different jobs, and to redefine really society. The only way to do it is by sharing the knowledge, and we all have a little bit of what it takes. So please get involved. onlinefreeuniversity@gmail.com if you wish to be part of this project. Thank you for watching.